month of December.
You know, Michael, it's going to be interesting to see how the Cavaliers defense holds up against this slashing, running, quick Phoenix team.
All right, settle back into Joy. Time for the Cavaliers to jump with the Phoenix Suns tonight. Carlos Boozer tried to come to work. Boozer will fade and go glass. It rattled out on him as it was halfway in the hole.
Boozer starting out right away. The Cavaliers attacking inside. That's the way you start against a team like this.
Well, we said how very good Amare Stoudemire and Sean Marion are, yes, but it is a small front line as Joe Johnson will lace that deep jumper. And wow, Joe Johnson's game has been scalding here in the last month.
Well, this young man has really stepped his game up. He's doing something that everybody thought he could do all along.
Jeff McGinnis just took, how about that? It figures. He took a shot on the side of the head as the Cavaliers got McGinnis shedding Leandro Barbosa underneath the rim.
Good play by the Cavaliers to use that UCLA cut to their advantage. That play will be there. McGinnis protecting that side, good, but he got hit in the head protecting his side.
You know what he's meant to this Cavalier basketball squad. Here's all the numbers you need to know. And Jeff McGinnis took over as a starter. 17-8 were the Cavaliers before everybody showed up here on Friday night and found out that Jeff McGinnis would not be able to play because of that severely bruised right shoulder.
And you know, it's good to see him get a few shots early, Michael, to get a feel for what that arm is going to feel like in competition, because it feels different in practice than it does in the game.
McGinnis wearing that compressed athletic shirt. Under his Cavalier jersey is Sean Marion. Will drop that deep jumper. And Sean Marion, of course, is averaging 19 points and better than 9 rebounds a game. One of the top guys that fill the stat sheet every night in this league.
You're right, and what the Cavaliers have to understand, this team will throw them up there pretty fast, so you got to be careful with how you defend these guys, because they don't mind about taking shots at any time.
The Cavaliers turn it over as they wanted to find Carlos Boozer on the block. This is Antonio McDyess, who came over in that Stephon Marbury deal. McDyess, second time he's played, and on the pick and roll, he'll go to the hoop and get the easy deuce.
Cavaliers really have to do weak side help, Michael, on those pick and rolls. You can't give this team those type of situations. Paul Silas understands that. He calls a quick timeout.
Well, Paul Silas does not want this one to get too far along with the Cavaliers not executing properly at either end of the floor. Early on, Phoenix Suns in town with a 4-point lead. Tonight, right here on Fox Sports Net, you'll be tuned in to the best damn sports show, period. Road trip time with Nomar Garcia-Parra, the Boston Red Sox shortstop, and Jerry Jones, the Dallas Cowboy owner, will tell all of you about his offseason acquisitions and if his Bill Parcells-led Cowboys are once again the team to beat the NFC. Best damn sports show, period. Right after Cavaliers in the Post and the Cavaliers and the Suns. Only one place, Fox Sports Net. There's the Cavaliers offensively. They got Jeff McGinnis at the free throw line. But we saw Utah come in here and shoot the basketball very well. We saw Detroit do the same, and Phoenix starts out 3 for 3 in the opening quarter.
Well, Michael, what I see is the tentativeness on the defensive end to be up in somebody's face, worried so much about them getting around you. That's where your weak side defense has to step up. That's why the Pistons are so good, because they can have faith in their weak side defense.
First touch for Zydrunas Ilgauskas. Shot clock at 5. Wanted Williams inside. Eric didn't get the roll on that short jumper. So Phoenix to the offensive end, as we just said, they're 3 for 3 in the early going, and they can go up by 6, maybe by 7 on this trip. More pick and roll as McDyess and Johnson tried to run it. Antonio McDyess had it rattle, and look at Amare Stoudemire. That is a big-time thumping.
Well, he does that frequently, folks. He will do that all night long if you don't put a body on him.
Cavaliers start out down 6. LeBron James got shut off by Joe Johnson. James pass stolen away. Easy solo, Leandro Barbosa. Not a good start for the Cavaliers.
Michael, I don't understand what's going on here. And like everybody thinks, it's not the point guard. The whole team, nobody showed up last game but Boozer. Somebody else has to show up and play as a unit.
Eric Williams will duck through. Ilgauskas with a deft left-handed stick back.
You know, and when you think about how the psyche of a team goes, Michael, they are not used to being the hunted. They're used to being the hunter. And it's different feeling when teams are coming after you.
Stoudemire ran in the paint, and it looks like he's shooting that jump hook down on the rim, doesn't he?
He is an awesome talent.
6 for 7 are the Phoenix Suns. This is Zydrunas Ilgauskas. The jumper came up short off the hands of Joe Johnson. The Cavaliers also, we talked about it. It's going to be, they're going to have to get it together at the defensive end. I mean, offense is going to come and go, but if they're going to finish this strong and be a playoff team, they've got to play better on the ball defense individually and better team defense than they've shown the last 2 games.
You're right, Michael, which means the weak side has to help in a 5-man situation. And individually, you can't have a lot of breakdown and letting the guy penetrate.
Jeff McGinnis found Aaron Williams. It was sent away by Amare Stoudemire. And it will stay with the Cavaliers with 21 on what was a new shot clock a moment ago.
Because when the Cavaliers are really strong, Michael, is when they use their defense to get an open floor and run. That's when they're really strong.
LeBron James will step back. That came up short. Ilgauskas all over the glass, and Z will get to the line on the Amare Stoudemire foul. The Cavaliers just 1 of 8 from the floor here to start out in the first 3 minutes and some change.
You just don't feel that energy surge, Michael. It's just not there.
Well, shouldn't there be a definitive sense of urgency?
Well, at this time of year, and after they've worked so hard to get themselves back into the playoff race, and now that they are there, you can still control your own destiny now, because if you continue to take care of your business, you're in. If you have to worry about somebody else to help you get in at this time of year, you could be in trouble.
And you just made a very good point. The Cavaliers have worked so very hard to get to this position before the game Friday night in the 6th spot in the East, now dropped down to the 8th spot. That to let it go this quickly, and Stoudemire just backdoored Boozer, and again with a huge throwdown.
Cavaliers not sharp early in the ball game, just running at a pace behind.
And I think Carlos Boozer going to have to at least try to make Amare Stoudemire play on the other end, and Boozer just turned it over and lost it. Well, Phoenix with all the energy here early on. They're in a real freewheeling flow. Leandro Barbosa misfired on that triple try. Cavaliers down by 8, 4 minutes into it. This is Jeff McGinnis. McGinnis will get to the free throw line, and that's going to be the 2nd foul on Leandro Barbosa, the young man who was playing for the Brazilian national team when he was 15 years old.
You can see the look on McGinnis' face. That particular situation, it hurt him that time. That's a deep bruise he has in that shoulder, and every time he gets popped on it, it hurts.
Well, let's take a look at what Jeff McGinnis has meant to this basketball team. In that 7-game win streak, look at the Cavaliers shooting beautifully, turnovers down, 31 points in opening quarters per game, and look what has happened in the last 2, averaging just 17 points a game and looking at huge deficits in opening quarters.
Right, and that's been something that really has hurt this team. And that 7-game win streak, getting 25 to 30 points a quarter right at the first quarter, really set the tone for the game.
Amare Stoudemire being checked by Carlos Boozer. Now Stoudemire put it on the deck, and Boozer shut him off. Casey Jacobson on the floor. Shot clock at 1. That's a 24-second violation. That's the kind of defense Paul Silas was looking for. And it started with Boozer not letting Stoudemire make a move to the hole.
You're right. What he did, Michael, was he forced Stoudemire to his left. He's a right-handed player, forced him to his left. Consequently, he's nowhere near as quick going to his left. Boozer was able to recover and stop the penetration.
The Cavaliers only 1 of 8 for the floor. 6 of the 8 points have come from the free throw line from Jeff McGinnis and Zydrunas Ilgauskas. LeBron James will step through. The reverse from James. Boozer on the cleanup. Jaw-dropping. The move from LeBron James. If it stayed in the hole, this place would have exploded.
And that's what's needed now, Michael, is for some excitement and getting the crowd in the ball game and get things going.
Joe Johnson couldn't reverse. Now Johnson to tee up a 3, and he will drain it.
Boy, it's amazing how getting the loose balls, how important they are, Michael. That time the Cavaliers had the ball. They couldn't obtain the ball, get the 3-point play against them.
Joe Johnson only shoots 28% from long distance, but knocked that down. LeBron James went inside to Z. Z will crush. Fine look from LeBron James.
LeBron James had his eye on Z, just waiting for Z to get the proper position. Nice pass by LeBron inside. Z brought it home strong.
Phoenix by 5, and we've got a whistle out on the floor, and that Cavalier foul is going to go on Jeff McGinnis. That'll be Jeff's first, and the first on the Cavaliers. Well, Casey Jacobson is checked in after Leandro Barbosa picked up 2 quick fouls. Jacobson had been starting a little bit for Mike D'Antoni, second-year man out of the Stanford Cardinal program of Mike Montgomery.
And the reason why McGinnis, the team seems to play with McGinnis, because he starts a faster pace. And that's something that then the guys off the bench can come in and stay within that pace.
Antonio McDyess to lace the jumper. I don't know what it is about Gundarina, but every visiting ball club comes in here and they turn it into their own personal shooting gallery.
You're right, that just lights out. It's amazing.
9 of 12 for Phoenix. Ilgauskas wanted to go to McGinnis, had it picked away. Joe Johnson will run out. Went way upstairs to McDyess, and McDyess didn't finish. Cavaliers trying to push it. McGinnis will save. No, he didn't. He was standing on that baseline, says referee Michael Henderson. Cavaliers turn it over for the 5th time already in the first 6 minutes.
And they just look, it's amazing. There's 2 little games, Michael, where they were out of sync because Jeff wasn't in there. Seemed like they have to find themselves again, to find the spirit that they had when Jeff was at full strength.
Well, make no mistake, Jeff McGinnis is nowhere close to 100%, but you know, the young man knew that it was time to put the uniform on and come to work with his Cavalier mates. Stoudemire had to force that in traffic. Now Boozer looked at Ilgauskas. McGinnis to turn the corner. Jeff McGinnis with a floater. Casey Jacobson to take off the McGinnis miss. Jacobson pass for Marion went off the glass. LeBron James against Jacobson. James will back him down. Williams for 3. Ring it up. Cavaliers back to within 4 on the Williams tray.
Got to get them started, Michael. That was transition, secondary break. Cavaliers have to get out in the open floor and find themselves again.
Sean Marion forced that in traffic, and then Marion followed up his own miss.
See, Michael, in the 7-game streak, you didn't see things like that. No second shots. They always blocked out. They got the ball. They've sort of gone to sleep here in these last 2 or 3 games.
Now Phoenix shooting 62% to start it out. Boozer in the paint with that rainbow jumper that rattled out on him. Cavaliers down by 6 as we'll approach the 4-minute mark. Joe Johnson turned the corner. Johnson will find the mark on the teardrop jumper.
Brown has to play a little bit better defense on that young man, because Joe Johnson will light him up every time. You have to defend these guys. You can't take them for granted. Oh, man, another bad pass.
Bad entry pass, LeBron James. He saved a hoop there, though, as Marion was leaking out. James got a hand on it. Cavaliers down by 8. Boozer against Stoudemire. Help was coming. And every time Boozer catches, help comes for Stoudemire.
Well, the word is out on Boozer now.
Just can't let him go to work. No. LeBron James will trigger. Didn't go down. Boozer trying to battle with Stoudemire, who won that war. Phoenix looking to go up 10 on this trip to the offensive end. Won't happen here as Sean Marion threw it away. Now for Phoenix, checking in the young man that came over in that deal for Stephon Marbury, Maciej Lempe. Lempe, the 7-footer out of Spain, who had a big game against Milwaukee. All right, we've got a timeout on the floor inside the 4-minute mark. Not a good start for the Cavaliers. Phoenix shooting lights out. Gunnerita, we take a look at our Jared's Gallery of Jewelry Shining Star. And LeBron James this year, his accuracy from three-point land. What this points out is actually when he's without rest or possibly more tired, he's shooting the 3 much better than he is with rest.
Yeah, I think when he's tired, Michael, he has a tendency to focus a little bit more because he knows he's not quite 100%. But when he's relaxed and he's got a lot of energy, he has a tendency to kind of take that for granted.
Cavaliers have already turned it over 6 times here in the opening quarter. Ira Newble, 4th year, 6'7" out of Miami on the floor. Ilgauskas got doubled, leaves LeBron James open. Shot clock at 5. James in the paint. LeBron with that jackknife move that wouldn't go down, but Ilgauskas again has got another big putback.
Michael, the way that Phoenix Suns are playing defense against the Cavaliers, if you swing the ball to the weak side, you'll get everything you want because they are swarming to the ball side of the floor.
They really are. It looks like Mike D'Antoni and his staff figured out the Cavaliers would try to really pound it with Ilgauskas and Boozer. Casey Jacobson to stick the deep jumper as this shooting gallery approach for the Phoenix Suns continues. 25 first quarter points on 12 of 18 from the floor. Boozer will head to the rack. Ilgauskas again on the glass and had it raked away. He's got 5 offensive boards, but had his pocket picked there. Marion's pass is too tall for Maciek Lampe.
Really, the Suns are helping the Cavaliers out a lot with 2 or 3 turnovers after a good defensive effort by the Suns. Cavaliers have to realize this is money time now. It's time to be sharp, not fumbling around. You got to get things going here. You got to move without the ball. You got to set decent picks, and you got to make shots.
Carlos Boozer again going to try to muscle in the paint, working with a left hand, and that wouldn't go down. Boozer getting frustrated, as you see. 3 of his 4 field goal attempts have been halfway into the hole and came out.
Well, you have that type of situation, Michael, sometimes as a scorer. But one thing, the type of shots he's getting, he can turn that around over in a minute.
Joe Johnson wide open to stroke the jumper, and Joe Johnson has a 9-point first quarter, and Phoenix leads it by 11.
And that's what's amazing, Michael, is how many open shots they've gotten already in the first quarter.
Austin, again, I'm going to be quite frank. That's been the most disturbing thing. I mean, if shots are going down when a team is contesting them, you tip your hat to the other team. But again, let's be frank. Utah, Detroit tonight, uncontested looks. NBA players are going to knock those down.
Right, Michael. And again, it comes down to the Cavaliers, to me, are used to being the hunter. Now they are the hunted, and it's a different philosophy, and they don't quite have the mental approach yet to handle the game as being the hunted.
Young Maciek Lampe held Zydrunas Ilgauskas. Now coming up tomorrow at 1 o'clock, Cleveland Indians in Grapefruit League action against Lou Piniello's Tampa Bay Devil Rays in Winter Haven, Florida. You can check it out here on Fox Sports Net. Opening day right around the corner. Indians action at your home all year long on Fox Sports Net. Zydrunas Ilgauskas at the free throw stripe for the Cavaliers. Z just 2 of 9 against Detroit on Sunday. Zydrunas with only 7 points. He did block 4 shots. Z has been a terror there. He's averaged better than 4 blocked shots in the last 7 Cavalier games.
But Michael, what I'm surprised is I don't see the sense of urgency here. It just seems like they're willing to accept what the Phoenix Suns throws at them, and they don't really want to change what's going on. They got to start getting down and dirty on the floor and playing hard basketball.
Sean Marion just loads up the 3, and nothing but the bottom of the well for Marion. And again, shot it uncontested.
Well, the situation again, Michael, is you have to be unafraid to attack a guy on the defensive end. What you have to do is depend on your weak side, help some defense. But if you're afraid that there's no weak side there, you will not get up in the face. The Pistons were awesome smothering you in that way.
Good look from Amare Stoudemire. Marion's going to size up another 3 all by himself. And the Cavaliers find themselves down by 14 with nothing but wide open looks from the Phoenix Suns.
And they don't have, again, you look at the faces of the Cavaliers, they just don't seem to be, they look confused.
It's going to be Maciek Lampe on his 2nd personal foul. Phoenix 15 of 21 for 71%, while the Cavaliers are shooting a paltry 5 for 20. And this is not the way to finish off the month of March after a 7-game win streak. Cavaliers digging themselves in a big hole here early.
You're right, Michael. And again, they worked too hard to get themselves into this position to watch it just flutter away the way it's going now. I mean, you should be scrapping. You should be falling down. You should be knocking people down. You should be the aggressor. This is your home floor. We're playing more like we're on the road.
Well, Jeff McGinnis, the perfect 6 for 6 from the line, and another very large crowd here tonight at Gund Arena. Not quite a sellout, but really the only availabilities are up in the last couple of rows at the top of the building. They want to get into it, have the Cavaliers give them something. Jahidi White, the strong man from Georgetown, is going to get to the free throw line on a Zydrunas Ilgauskas personal foul. And suffice to say, the Phoenix Suns have gotten whatever they wanted on the offensive end here in this first quarter.
And that's, again, if you don't put pressure on the basketball, Michael, in this league and anybody's league, you will have trouble because now they get all the looks they want. You have to put pressure on the basketball, and don't be afraid of a guy going by you and hope that your teammates are there to support you. That's the only way you're going to play enough defense in this league to win games.
Jahidi White. They split the pair. White 6'9", the large one, as we said, who came over in a deal earlier in the year with the Washington Wizards. 13-point lead. Cavaliers are going to use just about all of this opening quarter as McGinnis works against Casey Jacobson. Jeff McGinnis gave it up to a flying LeBron James. Jahidi White denied James, but LeBron got a whistle and will go to the free throw line. The takeoff from James on the baseline.
Jeff McGinnis penetrating, LeBron going to the hoop, going for the statue dunk. He got fouled with the body. Goes to the line for 2.
Now LeBron had his best night of this homestand in the opener of it against the Indiana Pacers. He went 12 of 22 for the floor on that Sunday afternoon. And in his last 3 games, LeBron now just 14 of 47 from the floor. And of course, he came down with the illness and had the congestion in the head and the chest that hurt him a little bit. But shots are not going down for LeBron James after that big game against Indiana.
Well, he seems kind of lethargic to me this evening. He doesn't really have the oomph that he usually comes with, that spirit. He doesn't seem to have that.
Ira Newble, open look at it. Newble to cash it out. Cavaliers get 3 on that trip. The long lift from about 42 feet from Joe Johnson, and he drew rim to end the opening quarter. Now the Phoenix Suns, they led this entire quarter by as many as 14 points. While the Suns at 68% on 15 of 22 from the floor. So the Cavaliers digging a 12-minute hole for themselves. And now we'll have to go about digging out of it. Come on back and see if the wine and gold are successful. Michael Regai with Austin Carr, in for Matt Gugas back inside Gun Arena. All Phoenix in the first quarter as we take a look at the numbers brought to you by Dodge. And all you need to know is Phoenix shot 68%, and it's going to be hard to beat any basketball team at any level if defensively you allow that. Only thing that's kept the Cavaliers in it, Austin, is their ability to get to the free throw line.
You're right, Michael, and regardless of what everybody may think about McGinnis being out and slowing the team up, it's not about that, folks. It's about the defensive end. Cavaliers defensively are giving up too many easy shots and just not getting the job done on the defensive end. That's where you win ball games.
Up 34 first quarter points. We start quarter number 2. Kevin Ollie on the floor now. McGinnis went to the entire quarter. Amari Stoudemire spinning off that right block. And he's going to get to the free throw line. Stoudemire, the rookie of the year last season in the NBA, on the Carlos Boozer foul. And this is how Phoenix went to work on the offensive glass in the opening quarter.
Michael, all that stuff is just easy. Here's a shot and a putback. The only one going for the ball is the Phoenix Suns guy. This is not the type of effort you need to get the job done if you're going to get it done in this league.
Tony Petit, 6'11", out of Texas Tech. Hit for Carlos Boozer. Boozer seemingly a little bit frustrated by 3 of his field goal attempts into the hole and then kicking out. And, of course, having to deal with Amari Stoudemire is never easy for anybody in this league.
I would say so.
Stoudemire with a couple of free throw makes the lead as 12. Ilgauskas will come to work, and Z will smash on that big step baseline.
Z is the one that can take the Cavaliers and get them back in the ball game because he has definitely a mismatch down there.
Oh, Kevin Ollie just absolutely got planted by 290-pound Jahidi White. You get hit by Jahidi White, you're going to feel it.
Yes, you are. I mean, that was a pounding there that Kevin Ollie took. Here's going off the pick. Bang. See? No communication, though, Michael. That's what I see there. Somebody should have told Ollie that the pick was there. No communication.
Ilgauskas thinking about it over Jahidi White. Zydrunas came up short. Amari Stoudemire pulls off his 5th rebound of the night. Stoudemire, who averages almost 20 points per game and almost 9 boards per game, had a big evening against Milwaukee. Jahidi White with muscle. Ilgauskas told him to get out of here. Z with his first block shot of the night.
Z standing tall.
Yeah.
Z standing tall, not taking it from Jahidi White. Right now, Z is the only one that's really putting up a good fight in that middle.
Well, the other afternoon, really, and we said this, Carlos Boozer was the only Cavalier that brought it against the Detroit Pistons. Zydrunas did not play well. LeBron James did not play well. Tonight, Zydrunas Ilgauskas has a lot of energy and activity early. James got switched out on by Jahidi White. Shot clock at 2. Deep jumper from Newble didn't go. Ilgauskas all over the glass. Z has 6 offensive boards. Well, look at him running Ilgauskas, making him give it up.
Well, they're going to go off of that shot to be there all night. Most teams either pick Ollie or Newble to double team with off of the ball.
Ira Newble depositing that jumper. Casey Jacobson got locked up by Ira Newble. Give it to the Cavaliers. Lee Nalon to check in. Nalon has been signed for the rest of the year by the Cavaliers. Nalon to replace LeBron James. So Lee Nalon, who has participated in 9 games as a Cavalier, averages better than 7.5 points a game, in to replace LeBron James. And Nalon again now signed for the rest of the year after 2 10-day contracts for the Cavaliers.
Well, I think he's been productive enough, Michael, to earn signing for the rest of the year. He's coming off the bench with some energy. He's giving the Cavs a lot of help.
And scoring threat off the bench. Cavaliers need it.
Big time.
Well, Tony Battie now. Wants Ilgauskas' pass, never got there. That's a 4th Cavalier pass that's never gotten down entry-wise onto the block tonight.
And those are the type of turnovers that the Cavaliers used to be haunted by in the first part of the season. The old habits are starting to crop up again.
Wide open look for Amari Stoudemire. This time he went back rim with a jumper.
Thank goodness. Cavaliers got to take advantage of this opportunity.
Double on Zydrunas Ilgauskas.
They're just selling out on Z now. They're just forcing the Cavaliers. Somebody else is going to beat them other than Z. They're not trying to stop Z at all.
Jahidi White front Z. Zydrunas will get to the free throw line. There were 3 Suns around Ilgauskas as he got the whistle from Nolan Fine. And Zydrunas with a 12.6 rebound first 15 minutes will be at the line.
Over the top, because that pass is there when Z is out away from the basket. And you see 3 Suns right there guarding Z. Any shot around the perimeter will be open when Z gets inside.
Zydrunas looking for points 13 and 14. He has kept the Cavaliers in it tonight. As we said, much like when the Cavaliers were trying to hang around against Detroit the other day, it was Carlos Boozer who was keeping the Cavaliers afloat. Tonight, Ilgauskas.
You're right, and at least one person is stepping up, but they got to get back on hitting on all cylinders in order to continue in this playoff race. Otherwise, Michael, they'll be out of the playoff race within the next week.
We said it on Sunday, and we'll say it again, and I'm sure all of you Cavalier fans that are faithfully following this tight NBA Eastern Conference playoff race realize Tony Battie had a report. You cannot lose 5-6 games in a row now and expect to be there when all the shouting is done, as Stoudemire will trigger the jumper that goes.
Stoudemire, boy, I tell you, he has improved this game so much it's scary. I mean, he's got the outside game, he's got the inside game, he can handle the ball. The young man has really stepped his game up big time on this big-time level.
Now Tony Battie, wide open look from the baseline. All those jumpers are just going to have to go down, and there's the difference. Phoenix has just been draining all of their wide open looks. That one wouldn't fall for Tony Battie. Kevin Ollie trying to check Leandro Barbosa. Barbosa got to the rim and finished as he turned the corner.
Michael, too easy, too easy, too easy. You cannot let a professional team continue to get you into the scoring area that easy. You got to keep them out of the middle.
The lead back to 10 again. Pick and roll for Lee Nalon. His first jumper rattled out. Battie and the putback. It rattled, but it went down for Tony Battie.
Tony Battie's second effort. Cavaliers need a lot more of those second efforts.
8 minutes left, quarter number 2. Glad to have you part of it tonight on Fox Sports Net. Michael Regai with Austin Carr, who is in for Matt Gukas, who's on assignment. Joe Johnson forced that in traffic, and it went down.
Either this team is one of the better shooting teams in the league, Michael, or they're just hot tonight, because this team, they are not missing anything.
66% for Phoenix. Lee Nalon wants to take Joe Johnson. Help coming. Nalon went glass with that spinning move baseline.
Good move by Lee to get inside and use the backboard to knock it down, but it's defense that has to improve here.
Jahidi White up top. This Phoenix ball club, offensively, sure, they're proficient, but on the defensive end, they are not known as one of the better clubs in this league.
Right.
Stoudemire got in trouble, and his pass was slapped out of bounds. All right, we've got a timeout on the floor. Cavaliers trailed by as many as 14 early. They've clawed back to within 8 in is a virtual must-win situation. Cavaliers basketball out of sparkling downtown Cleveland on Fox Sports Net, being brought to you by Coors and also by Toyota. Quality, dependability, reliability. Get the feeling. Toyota. As we said, great to have you part of it tonight. Beautiful day in Cleveland. Sun shining, temperatures up, and another brand of sun. Phoenix basketball variety in Gun Arena tonight. I'm Michael Reggai with Austin Carr, producer-director Bob Pennell. Doing extra duty tonight. Lisa O'Leary, associate producer who produces Cavaliers Countdown, lending a helping hand to Mr. Pennell tonight, and all of our fine crew here inside Gun Arena. Everybody trying to band together to see if we can get the Cavaliers off the schneid here at home.
And it's a hot sun, Michael. These guys are really putting that ball in the basket.
Joe Johnson's runner didn't go down. Ira Newble on the glass for the Cavaliers. Carlos Boozer back on the floor now as Brutus Ilgauskas gets his first rest. So Tony Battie manning the middle. The Cavaliers wanted Boozer. You notice, too, on every entry pass, Phoenix is jumping all of them, regardless of Jahidi White, Amari Stoudemire, Antonio McDyess. Doesn't matter who it is. They're jumping entry passes.
Because the Cavaliers are not moving without the ball, Michael. You cannot stand there and just reach for the basketball against a team that's overplaying the ball.
Kevin Ollie in the paint, gave it up to Boozer. Ollie got it back, never got it to the rim. Battie battling with Boozer. And the Cavaliers will keep the basketball as you look at Jeff McGinnis. McGinnis went to 12 minutes of the first quarter, 6 for 6 for the free throw line with a couple of boards for Jeff McGinnis, and missed his only field goal attempt.
Well, he got the team off to a decent start offensively, but they can't seem to get back on the defensive end and make things happen. Everything is a step too slow.
There's Antonio McDyess there again, trying to front Carlos Boozer before Nalon could get that entry pass to him. Austin, it's something that Phoenix obviously has implemented tonight, not letting the Cavalier big men catch on the block.
You're right. What they're doing is overplaying the ball, and if the Cavaliers are not smart with their passes, they get their hands on it right there.
Pass got away on the inbound, going to the hoop. Leandro Barbosa. Cavaliers just cannot give up easy hoops off sloppiness like that.
They just seem to fall asleep, Michael. I haven't seen a team collapse like this after a 7-game win streak, even though you had some adversity with missing your top point guard. But the effort of the team is just different now, Michael. They don't charge the boards. They're not playing defense. I mean, it's almost like they're afraid to take the next step.
Well, Phoenix got a 10-point lead again, and Joe Johnson coming to work on Ira Newble. That was short. Jahidi White had his hands on it, and the Cavaliers look to push it. Newble and Nalon. Nalon will slide inside and miss the chippy. Ira Newble's going to get hit with a technical foul as he was letting Michael Henderson hear about it as Phoenix was running out to the other end. And Newble got whistled as he was very upset. Well, Phoenix leads it by 10. They'll be shooting the technical foul on Ira Newble. And Paul Silas has mucho work to do with his Cavaliers. Phoenix with a 10-point advantage on the Cavaliers here mid-second quarter. Let's take a look at our Aflac trivia question. And we'll test your Cavaliers and NBA knowledge now. We'll trip down memory lane. What former Cavaliers share the Suns franchise record for most consecutive free throws made? All right, I got a couple ideas on that. Former Cavaliers that share the Suns franchise record for most consecutive free throws made. We'll think about that for a moment. Jeff McGinnis is back. LeBron James is, no, not James. Yes, he is back, along with Lee Nalon, Carlos Boozer, Tony Battie, and Joe Johnson just missed the technical free throw. The Phoenix lead is 10. The Suns are starting an East Coast trip tonight. And folks, remember the other night we told you Chicago Bulls had one of the worst road record in the NBA. Well, again, another reason why this one just has to be put in the win column, regardless of who you have suited up. The bottom line is the Phoenix Suns are 8-26 on the road this year.
It's unbelievable, Michael. When you think about that and the way they're playing tonight, that's because the Cavaliers are not giving them any defensive resistance at all. They're pretty much right there down the middle. You cannot do that, Michael. You just cannot do that. You're just letting them do exactly what they want to do.
That's the easy stroll to the hoop for Zarko Chabarkapa. That is on the floor now tonight.
Now look, they don't let the Cavaliers do anything. Everything is contested. See, That's the difference, folks. That's the difference.
Carlos Boozer in the paint. Boozer finally got a roll. He extended and got it to drop over Amare Stoudemire.
Good move inside by Boozer to attack the basket. When in doubt, you go to the hoop.
Joe Johnson is going to get the roll on that jump hook in the paint as Phoenix continues to. I just never thought I would continue to look up and see teams on the road shooting 65, 70, 72% for this deep into games.
Well, there's no commitment to the defensive end, Michael. That's all you can say. I mean, what else can you say? There's just no commitment there from the defensive end.
Boozer will fade on Antonio McDyess. Too strong. No Cavalier near the basketball. Chaparkapa running into the hoop again. This Cavalier crowd now starting to let the Cavaliers hear about it. Starting to let the Cavaliers hear about it as more easy run-out hoops for the Phoenix Suns, who continue to blaze away at the Cavaliers' expense. Lead is up to 14 again. We'll be right back to Gund Arena right here on Fox Sports Net. Tonight, and Phoenix has come in here and just toyed with the Cavaliers through the first 17 and a half, close to 18 minutes of this one.
Well, Michael, what's going to start to happen now is people are going to start wondering, how can you have won 7 games and then you fall so flat after 7 games just with one absence of one player? The rest of the guys are going to have to take some of that blame.
Jeff McGinnis floater off the back heel. Shots not going down. More runouts for Phoenix. Chaparkapa running right to the rim again. Count that, and one more covered from the line. This is Zarko Chaparkapa, folks. He's got 3 quick hoops for 6 points, and he's going to the line for 7. He's been on the floor for 2 minutes, and he's gone to the rim 3 straight times to go 3 for 3.
Well, again, when your bench players come in the game and they run up and down the floor and have fun, and you have still no resistance, Michael, there's no commitment here by these players. The players, for some reason, don't understand the urgency of what time it is.
Zydrunas Ilgauskas is back, and the Cavaliers have found themselves outscored 12-2 without Zydrunas on the floor. It is now a 17-point Phoenix lead, their biggest of the night, and I don't think this big crowd at Gund Arena thought they would see a repeat of what happened on Sunday afternoon tonight. LeBron James with a rainbow 3 that's right there.
LeBron's got to get his emotions back, Michael. He has no spirit. His emotion is just flat, and usually you don't see LeBron flat like that. Now, you can't give that guy that shot. You can't go behind the pick. LeBron continues to go behind the pick. You got to go over top of the pick.
Sean Marion depositing the jumper. James will attack the hoop. LeBron got held before he could get airborne. And that Phoenix foul is going to be called on Antonio McDyess. 16-point Phoenix Suns lead. With only 3:17 left in the opening quarter, and the Cavaliers are searching for answers and floundering against the worst team in the West, the Phoenix Suns.
Well, they look like the best team tonight, the way the Cavaliers have given them offensive opportunities.
Zydrunas Ilgauskas from very deep. Eric Williams trying to keep it alive. The save from Sean Marion. Phoenix could take their biggest lead of the evening on this trip. Shooting 68%. Antonio McDyess. Absolutely unbelievable. McDyess on the knockdown, and Phoenix is shooting 70% from the floor.
Well, again, Michael, this is one of the few times this team has been healthy. So you knew that they were going to present a problem for you. But defensively, you have to go down fighting. You can't sit there and continue to take this.
All right, we'll come back to Gund Arena and finish out this first half. Phoenix Suns living up to their nickname, blazing and leading by 18. Phoenix Suns blistering, scalding, and scorching the Cavaliers with an 18-point advantage. And we finish off our half-flag trivia question. And what former Cavaliers share the Suns franchise record for the most consecutive free throws made? Any ideas? I'll go with Dan Marley for one of them. What else you got? KJ?
KJ.
Well, not Dan Marley. Mike Bratz. Mike Bratz, former Cavalier, and now, of course, in the front office of the Cavaliers with Kevin Johnson.
You know, Michael, if you look again, see, defense is an attitude and it's an effort. Now, when you sit back and you don't run your plays, you take shots like that, and then you let Phoenix have 8 layups and 2 dunks so far in this quarter, it is ridiculous. It's just the effort is not there. Now, I hope the Cavaliers realize that they're in the playoff hunt.
Amari Stoudemire that got hit with a walk before he could come to work on Zydrunas Ilgauskas.
Everything that has happened with Stoudemire, when it goes the Cavaliers' way, it's going to his left side. Now, you have to look at your scouting report and know things like that. A guy that's that sharp on offensive end, you cannot sit there and let him keep going to his strong side.
Eric Williams got shut off by Zarko Chabarkapa.
Now, he got called for that foul, Michael, but what he did was what he should have done. He got called for the foul, but he cut Eric's strong side off. He just was a little late doing it, but that was the proper defense against a right-handed player.
There are 29 teams in this NBA as LeBron James will powerfully go to the hoop with that strong send-down. James turned the corner, and when he gets elevation like that, that is LeBron James at his best.
But, Michael, you can't complain about fouls. This is no time to worry about that. You have to play through situations if you're going to make it to the playoffs. You can't worry about a referee missing a call. So what? It has nothing to do with the game. You have to continue to play.
And now, 90 seconds left of this opening half. Joe Johnson running pick and roll. Johnson glides to the hoop. Wide open look on that triple from the baseline will go down, but Stoudemire's got an offensive board and had it slapped out of bounds. Chabarkapa had a clean look at 3.
LeBron James getting an opportunity to get inside, finishes well. He did get fouled, but the referee is not going to give it to you. If you're not going to be the aggressor, they're not going to give you those calls. You got to get aggressive out there and play the game like you mean it.
Joe Johnson will fade away. Ilgauskas showed up on him, and that whistle is going to go on Zydrunas. And Joe Johnson will get to the free throw line, the former All-American from Arkansas, who left after his sophomore season, and he has been playing outstanding basketball of late.
Michael, do you think that the Cavaliers have run out of gas because they struggled so much to come from so far back? What do you think? You feel that they look lethargic to me, and it might be just a mental thing.
It's a little bit perplexing, whatever the reason may be, but and the bottom line is Cavaliers had this 5-game homestand, won the first 2, and needed to have a 4-1, at worst 3-2 homestand. And unless something dramatically changes in the second half of this one, they're going to finish it out with 3 straight losses and go into one of the toughest stretches of the year,
right?
At Philadelphia, home to New Jersey, and then road games in San Antonio, Dallas, and Milwaukee. Boozer wanted to elevate and had it slapped away. Everything is being challenged by the Cavaliers as they try to attack the hoop. And Carlos Boozer, you don't see it happen too often, but he is having a frustrating night offensively.
Well, again, what's happening, Michael, is when you receive the ball, the whole Phoenix Suns team, they are attacking you. And if you keep it on the floor more than 1 or 2 dribbles, somebody will be there for resistance. You have to move the basketball if you don't have it real quick.
Shot clock at 8. Shot clock at 3. LeBron James going to have to get Marion off his feet, force the jumper that didn't go. And last touch is going to be Chabarkapa, and it'll be Cavalier basketball. This crowd and Paul Silas yelling at referee Michael Henderson. LeBron James is spending a lot of time debating it with Henderson.
You got to get your mind on the game, Michael. Got to get your mind on the game. Maybe this will get LeBron sparked up.
James turned the corner, left it short. Boozer had one stick back that wouldn't go down. Joe Johnson to push it. Rejected by James, but Johnson got it back. Sean Marion, a very awkward looking 3. Williams will try to save. And we have got a whistle down underneath the rim. Kenny Mauer and Nolan Fine blew the whistle. And they said the Cavaliers were out of bounds.
Well, Michael, what you said,
Phoenix basketball.
Sorry, Michael. What you say now, the crowd's starting to get frustrated, too, because they're not happy with the effort that the Cavaliers are giving them right now.
20 seconds. They got a 20-second timeout now. And this big crowd at Gund Arena voicing their displeasure. Cavaliers trying to hustle it up defensively. Coming up on the Spitzer Dodge at Chrysler Jeep halftime report. You can check in with Andy Baskin, and you'll get all the breakdown of this first half of basketball. And Austin and I will share the first half highlights with you. That is nothing but a Phoenix Suns shooting gallery. It's not surprising. I mean, 58-41. Phoenix shooting at 64%, and the Cavaliers at 31% on this first half.
Got a question for you, Michael. What would the Detroit Pistons be doing if they had the 50? It would have never got. It would have been bodies flying over everywhere. People knocked out of bounds. I mean, people knocked on their behinds. It would have been a whole different outcome. They might have 58 points, but it'd be 2 or 3 of them that would be stitched up or something would be wrong. The Pistons would not give up this type of defensive effort.
Not off what I saw the other day. I can't fathom anybody in this league right now putting 58 points up in a half against the Detroit Pistons.
Because they're not going to let you.
They haven't been giving up more than 70 a game for the better part of their 8-game win streak.
Right.
I got a 5-second differential, maybe 6 between game and shot clock. And shot clock at 8 as Joe Johnson will handle up top. Johnson went inside to Stoudemire over Tony Battie, and he got it to fall. What a deluxe offensive game Amari Stoudemire has.
Yes, he is.
Biggest lead of the night. LeBron James got shut off baseline, and James got hit with the travel. And I think the sense LeBron is trying to do a whole lot by himself right now, and it really is probably not the right way to go.
Right. Well, they should depend more on their offense to get the job done instead of going one-on-one.
That would have counted had it went. This crowd bewildered. I'm sure a lot of you are bewildered. Phoenix Suns, they led for 23 minutes and 12 seconds of this 24-minute first half. Can the Cavaliers crawl out of this hole? We're going to find out. 19-point deficit, rather large. Halftime is coming up on Fox Sports Net.
Welcome to the Spitzer Halftime Report. All roads lead to your Spitzer Dodge and Chrysler Jeep Superstores.
So far, the best thing for Cleveland on the floor tonight, the Cavalier girls. Cavaliers really struggled in the first half. They trail Phoenix by a score of 60-41. Hi, everybody. Welcome back to Gund Arena. This is the Spitzer Halftime Report. The good news, I guess, for the Cavaliers is that they are 13 of 14 from the free throw line. Otherwise, it's been all Phoenix Suns. Let's show you the advanced auto halftime statistics, and it should read all Phoenix. 63% is what Phoenix is shooting. Cavaliers are going to have to work on their defense in the second half if they are going to make a run to try to win this game and try to keep themselves in the playoff hunt. There you see the big numbers for the Cavaliers on the free throw front. 13 of 14, but points in the paint, fast break points, and steals, it's all going Phoenix's way, and the Cavaliers just really haven't even seemed to enter the arena at this point. Z with 14 points, so Cavaliers are going to have a lot of work to do in the second half. Let's take a look at our key matchup. Unusually low numbers and a kind of a frustrating first half for Carlos Boozer. Just 4 points, 3 rebounds, 2 of 8 from the field. Amari Stoudemire, a guy we talked about before the game, continuing with his numbers. He averages 19.7 a game. He is already more than halfway there to getting his game time average. 6 boards, and he is 5 of 7 from the field. So the Cavaliers trail by at halftime here by 19, 60-41. Reg and AC are coming back after this.
Back inside Gund Arena as the Cavaliers have themselves, unfortunately, another large hole to extract themselves from if they're going to find what's turning into an elusive 32nd win of the year. Cavaliers have been sitting on the 31 wins since they beat Chicago a week ago tonight. All right, let's take a look at how the first half unfolded, and a lot of it's the Phoenix Suns shooting 63%, and Joe Johnson was lighting it up along with Sean Marion and Amari Stoudemire.
We talked about this right from the beginning, and they didn't have a tendency to make a lot of shots, but Joe Johnson is definitely someone who has taken over the game early in the ball game.
All right, apparently we're having some technical difficulties with Austin's microphone, so in the meantime, we'll show you the shot chart there that shows Joe Johnson with a 6 for 12 first half. with the 5 assists to go along with that. And Phoenix with 19 assists on their 26 field goal makes. And the Cavaliers with only 8 assists, conversely, on their 13. And Joe Johnson, a lot of his work in that painted area around the rim. Cavaliers have given up 60 points in this first half to Phoenix and trail it by 19. One has to wonder what the message from head coach Paul Silas was to his rather lethargic Cavaliers here at halftime. I'm going to show you the Eastern Conference playoff standings. This is 5 through 10, starting with the rapidly falling Milwaukee Bucks, who've fallen under 500 by losing 9 of 11. But the winning percentage that you see in the column on the right is the winning percentage that each team faces against the remaining opponents. And you see Toronto has the roughest road, facing teams in their last 13 games that win at a 55% clip. And Milwaukee and New York against teams over 500. The Cavaliers against basically playing against teams that are at 500 for the rest of their 13 games, including tonight. So the Cavalier loss, though, as you see tonight, would leave them just 1/2 game ahead of Boston. Boston doesn't play again until Friday night. They haven't played since Saturday, so they've got about a week off. Toronto's playing tonight. They've got a tough one at Memphis. And the Cavaliers also have New Orleans. New Orleans plays tonight. They're hosting Detroit. But for the Cavaliers, Austin, how do you start thinking about coming back from 19 down against a team shooting 63%?
Well, Michael, you don't want to do it all at one time. What you have to do now, you want to cut it down to a 9 or 10 point deficit at the end of this quarter, and then you make your move in the fourth quarter. But you cannot get caught up in trying to do it all at one time.
Well, the thing you need to look at, and we'll all look at together, is the defensive end of the floor. If the Cavaliers are not going to make any improvements over what they've shown in the first half, they'll be heading for the exits rather soon here at Gund Arena.
Well, in this second half, I would try some zone, Michael, for the simple fact that individually, the Cavaliers are breaking down too easy and causing too much penetration. So maybe you have to switch up and play a little zone just to give Phoenix a different look.
And a 10 on the floor, the same 10 that started it. The Phoenix Suns with a basketball, dressed in their purple tonight with Leandro Barbosa, Joe Johnson in the backcourt with Amare Stoudemire, Antonio McDyess, and Sean Marion up front. Stoudemire will take it hard in the paint. Right away an offensive board for Antonio McDyess, who lost it out of bounds. Cavalier basketball, and another area the Cavaliers got to get shut up. Phoenix hasn't missed much tonight, but when they have, there's been a Sun there for an offensive board.
Right. Again, you're talking the floor game, Michael. Not shooting, not doing anything, but rebounding, playing good defense, and playing a floor game. The Cavaliers have to get back into the solid floor game.
Carlos Boozer on the offensive glass, and Boozer will convert on the stick back off the Eric Williams miss.
Maybe that'll get Boozer going, and maybe that'll get the Cavaliers going. LeBron up and challenging the ball. Good. Now somebody has to help.
Johnson turned the corner and went to the hoop. Loose basketball run down by Marion.
LeBron seems to be picking up his energy level.
Attacking the rim, Amare Stoudemire, and he was setting sail on his run through the paint. And Zydrunas Ilgauskas, it looks like he took a shot around the nose area again. Will pick up his 3rd personal foul quickly here in the 3rd quarter.
But again, that's what they have to do, and the weak side defense will have to be the one to recover. You have to force this team to start putting the ball on the floor and help from the weak side because they're too hot over the top.
And once again, Zydrunas Ilgauskas
got hit in that nose.
Got hit in the nose that really took a shot the other night, and he's going to have to leave to be attended to.
Whoa, Stoudemire really popped him good there in that nose. He's going to have to get some attention. You see the arm going right there. Right there is where he got hit in the nose.
Well, Zydrunas really had that nose almost realigned the other night because he took a big shot against Utah, and he trying to play through that. Remember when he tried to wear a mask the last time that he had the problems with either the slight fracture in the nose, and that didn't go too well for Z. Remember him throwing it off and throwing it up into the seats. Closed captioning today being brought to you by our friends at Metro Health. And while I have a minute, I'd really like to send a big thank you and a hello out to Doctors Kaminsky and Milstein at the Cleveland Clinic, Austin. And I've been battling doing so many games, the hoarseness and the sore throat, and one of the good doctors at the clinic I think weave their magic and their expertise and got me on the right path once again. So big thank you to Doctors Kaminsky and Milstein at the Cleveland Clinic.
They brought the golden voice back.
I don't know about that, but I do appreciate their help. Eric Williams fading away, and that jumper rattled out on him.
They got to start getting some shots to fall so they can start feeling good about themselves. Then you'll see their spirit pick up. Right now, nothing's happening good for them. They got to fight through this, though, Michael. This is where you become a team. This is where you find out what you're made of.
Stoudemire got resistance, put it up too strong, but there's Marion on the glass, and he missed a chippy, and a loose ball foul is going to go on Sean Marion. And it looked like right there at point-blank range, Marion was going to be able to convert, but he went over the top of Carlos Boozer to do it.
Boozer had good body position on him. That's why he couldn't get over the top of Boozer. He spread it out solid, caused the guy to go over the back.
Cavaliers down 18. They had that remarkable comeback from 25 down against New Orleans last month. Can they do it again? Jeff McGinnis turned the corner, and Ken Mauer hit him with a travel. Turnover Cavaliers. That is number 9 on the night. Leandro Barbosa running this night's offense. He put up 123 points against the Milwaukee Bucks. And the Cavaliers have picked up the energy, switching out on pick and roll and trying to bring a little bit more spirited play on the defensive end.
Well, you have to do that, Michael. I realize Coach Salas doesn't like to switch, but you have to do that. You have to keep this team off balance and keep them off balance by switching up your defensive effort.
Now Boozer thinking about it. Carlos will raise up and ring up the jumper over Antonio McDyess. Boozer with 2 quick third quarter hoops. He's got 8, 16-point Phoenix lead. Boy, it's almost like having to pitch a shutout on the offensive end. Marion threw it away. Now Phoenix starting to have many, many more problems, obviously, than they did when they ran their offense beautifully in the first half.
Well, because they had no resistance. The Cavaliers now, they're fighting over the pitch. They're forcing them to do things that they don't like to do, Michael. Now their timing is off. Cavaliers defense starting to make a little bit of a dent.
They've turned it over 3 times here early, third quarter. LeBron James. James will raise up and bury the jumper. Cavaliers back to within 14. And Phoenix wants to stop it. Cavaliers have shaved 5 points off the Phoenix lead here in the first 2:50 of the third quarter. All right, we'll be right back to the gun of the Cavaliers catching some spark. Now the little fellas here at Gun Arena wearing the wine and gold and trying to get the Cavaliers back into this one. Phoenix with a 14-point lead. McDonald's, I'm loving it time. LeBron James, power and electricity high up in the rafters.
That was one of the few times they let LeBron get inside in the first half. Cavaliers looking for more of that in the second half.
Now Phoenix has turned it over 3 of the last 4 trips to the offensive end. Joe Johnson from deep, and he'll stick it. And Joe Johnson has really picked up. He's got to be one of the candidates for most improved player in this league.
Well, what I'm seeing, Michael, is when they run that pick and roll, and the Cavaliers are trying to hedge it and then keep coming, you have to stop that guy and force him back away from back into the floor of the defense in order to make it work.
LeBron James through traffic, give it up to Boozer, who misfired in tight. The T battling, but the Cavaliers do not convert.
See, having McDyess and Stoudemire under there will force you to take shots like that.
Johnson being checked by LeBron James, trying to use the Amari Stoudemire pick. Antonio McDyess came up flat. Cavaliers down by 16. LeBron James turning the corner baseline. It didn't fall with the left hand, but he is going to get to the line on the Amari Stoudemire Phoenix foul.
Good move by LeBron to go inside. You got to get these guys in foul trouble to get them to back off a little bit on the defensive end. LeBron taking the opportunity to get in the floor and get a point-blank shot.
Looking for Zydrunas Ilgauskas, and he has not returned, and Zydrunas missed. If I remember correctly, Utah was up by 3 or 4 with about 6 minutes left Friday night. Z took the shot right across the bridge of the nose and didn't return until Utah had built that lead up to about 8 with a couple minutes left, and he had to leave earlier in the third quarter, got the nose belted again.
Yeah, and I know Z doesn't like to wear that mask, but it looks like he may be forced to.
Johnson again sheds LeBron James and buries another jumper.
That young man has really improved his game.
18 points to go along with 5 assists for Joe Johnson, so the lead's at 16 again. The Cavaliers have shaved 3 points off it. Here in the first 4 minutes, it's a change.
And you can see how important defense is out here in this league. You don't stop people, you cannot win these ball games.
Eric Williams, good look at the three. Off that back iron. Again, they went and doubled Carlos Boozer. Phoenix did as he caught on that right block.
Well, that's their strategy tonight, Michael. They're going to get the ball out of the low post hand regardless, and it's up to the Cavaliers to make the right pass or the right move. And that's good philosophy when you know a team depends on that.
Stoudemire will fade away and stroke it, and the lead at 18 again. So now almost 5 minutes into the quarter, the lead has only gone down by 1.
And you have to switch up your defenses against this team. They love to go one-on-one. Sometimes you have to show a zone.
James found Boozer, who powered off that square with the right hand. Boozer 6 of his 10 here in the third quarter. The puck seems to fly when you're playing catch-up, doesn't it?
It sure does.
Johnson will try to turn the corner again. Joe Johnson got into the paint, and his runner is right there.
Somebody's got to guard the young man. Man, he's just having his way.
Cavaliers need another timeout. Lead is at 18. It was at 19 to start the third quarter. 22nd timeout for the Cavaliers. So Joe Johnson just giving LeBron James or whoever is on him all kinds of problems tonight. As this former All-American from Arkansas given up on by the Boston Celtics in that deal that sent Rodney Rogers and Tony Delk from Phoenix to Boston last year, and he has turned into a fine player in this league.
Joe Johnson coming off the pick, a little hesitation. LeBron get caught on the pick, but the guy that's guarding that particular guy should have not let this guy penetrate it. You have to close off your middle. When you let your middle be as vulnerable as the Cavaliers are letting the middle become, you cannot beat these teams in the NBA. They're just too good. I don't care if Phoenix is the worst team in the West. You let them have the middle all the time, they will beat you every night.
And they don't look like the worst team in the West tonight. And a team that's 8-26 on the road now, do they?
No, they don't.
LeBron James off the Boozer pick. Boozer went inside. Nice look to Eric Williams, who missed it. So did Tony Battie. But Battie will get to the free throw line on a Sean Marion foul.
Boy, Eric is just having a struggle. He just can't seem to get it in. Boozer with a nice little drop pass here into Williams. He tries to dunk it. See, when you're in shooting slumps, Michael, why try and dunk the ball? Put the ball on the board, get your 2 points and going down the floor. That helps you get your rhythm going back. You need baskets now. Now is the time to get yourself into a good rhythm and a flow. Lay the ball in the basket the easy way instead of the dunk shot.
Well, Tony Battie, who may have to play very large second half minutes. Again, we still have not seen Zydrunas Ilgauskas reappear in that Cavalier locker room. Battie with a couple of free throw makes. Phoenix by 16, and with it, Cavaliers need stops. And that's plural, a lot of them. Stoudemire against Battie. Wheeled him into the paint. Battie got a piece of it. And off Carlos Boozer, and the shot clock at 3. It's another thing I've noticed a lot in the last year. Even when the Cavaliers do make a strong on-the-ball individual defensive play, basketball always seems to still wind up
in the opponent's
the opposition because there's not a defensive rebound collector.
See, the Cavaliers don't want to double team, Michael. You can see that. But this team is too hot for you not to double team guys. You have to double team guys, force them to give the ball up and see if somebody else can beat you. But one-on-one, they're killing them.
Antonio McDyess has got 18 as Phoenix continues to shoot about 60%. This is LeBron James, and he will triple a deep three from over in front of the Phoenix bench.
Cavaliers have to dig in on defense. They got the offense working a little bit better. They have to dig in on the defensive end. Challenge people defensively. See, you got a guy on the island by himself. It's tough, Michael, the guard guy. You got to get the ball out of these guys' hands because they're off on the offensive flow now. You can't let them have you one-on-one consistently.
Cavalier foul is on Tony Battie, and it was on the floor. So the non-shooting foul. As Ken Mauer talks to Tony Battie and Amare Stoudemire. And Phoenix it got rolling when they came back from 21 down. Antonio McDyess left it short. That's one a few times tonight. No purple shirt on the offensive glass.
The Cavaliers putting a body on somebody, and that was a good move there.
Jeff McGinnis gave it up. Barbosa to the hole, and that'll be a Tony Battie foul. Cavaliers having a chance to get back to within 13. Jeff McGinnis was spinning to the hoop, got a little bit out of control, and turned it over. Tony Battie on the Cavalier foul. Let's take a look at what's going on around the NBA. Cavaliers will, they look for help from other places. Toronto's in Memphis tonight, and then they go to Houston tomorrow. So a tough back-to-back. Detroit, the usual.
Right.
By 12, down in New Orleans. Doesn't matter where the Pistons play.
Right.
They don't care if they're on the opposition floor.
Well, because they bring the defense every night, Michael. So that means you can go anywhere and win when you bring your defense every night.
I mean, it should be something that the Cavaliers would like to emulate. I'm not saying that every team in the NBA can play as tough, strong, aggressive defense as Detroit, but it goes to show you when you do, you don't have to shoot 50% every night. You can win when your offensive game is lacking a little bit.
That's why defense is so important in this league. And that's why you see such an offensive team like the Phoenix Suns. That's why they have problems, because they cannot bring the defense consistently night in, night out. Once they learn how to bring the defense with their offense, this team will rise fast in the West.
As really, it's so strange, and it shows you how fragile and how quickly things can turn in this league. And just 1 week ago, sitting here extolling the virtues of the Cavaliers as the third hottest team in the NBA.
Right.
Behind the likes of Sacramento, and right there with Indiana and New Jersey and Memphis over the course of the last 5 weeks since the All-Star break. And now, of course, the fortunes have turned exactly the other way, and the Cavaliers trying to fight for their lives to hang on in the playoff race. Barbosa makes a couple, the lead back up to 17 once again. Well, the Cavaliers have had a couple of quick bursts, but bottom line is they really haven't made any inroads here in the third quarter. The lead was 19, and now it's 17.
Because they can't stop anyone.
And having problems getting into the offense. Once again, it'll stay with the Cavaliers with 12 on the shot clock.
Well, if you take a look at what happened, the Phoenix's defense is out so far, they're forcing the Cavaliers to really start the offense way away from the basket. Now the whole defense sees what's going to happen.
But Austin, as I said in the first half, there's only 3 teams in this league that give up more and are worse defensively than the Phoenix Suns.
Right. I know, Michael, but
I mean, this isn't something. This team is 26th in the NBA defensively. That's why they're 23 and 47.
Right.
You wouldn't know it tonight, though, by the way the Cavaliers have approached it, as Amari Stoudemire bangs down another jumper, and the lead is right where it was at halftime at 19.
Tell you, sooner or later, this team will realize you cannot have teams coming in here playing like they're at their home court, the way they treat the Cavaliers. They're playing like they're playing in Phoenix.
Carlos Boozer are trying to duck through a double team and then force that step-back jumper. So now the Cavaliers again go very cold on the offensive end. Marion going to work, put that down, and one coming on the Cavalier foul, and Phoenix has their biggest lead of the night.
Cavaliers are just a step slow, Michael. What I'm feeling now, and I think the team has hit a wall after that 7-game streak to get back in here. They just don't seem to be with the right spirit now, and they're going to have to find a way to get it back, though, in this league. If you're going to make the playoffs, you've got to find a way to recapture what they had just a week ago.
Austin, that's very true. Don't have a lot of time, though. As we said, I think we both agree, and I think Paul Silas would have to agree. There cannot be a 5, 6, 7-game losing streak. If that's going to happen, then the playoffs are not going to be a possibility.
You're right. You see?
Now the Cavaliers settling for that deep 3 from LeBron James.
And you're talking about a team that's not a defensive threat. Now, I can see how they were taking those shots against Detroit, but this is Phoenix.
James will save and pump it down off a Phoenix turnover.
See what happens when you pressure the ball and don't let them do what they want to do? You have to put some pressure on the basketball. Don't let them just throw the ball around. Force them to do something with the ball.
It's an illegal defensive 3-second call on the Cavaliers on Tony Battie. And Sean Marion will shoot it. So Sean Marion and Amari Stoudemire and Joe Johnson, they have come in here and combined for 51 of Phoenix's 77 points here through just about 3/4 of play. As the Cavaliers have not had an answer for any of that Phoenix trio.
No, they haven't. Those three guys have really torched the Cavaliers. But again, it's your attitude, your defensive attitude in this league. The Pistons came in here with a defensive attitude, Michael. You knew they were going to defend you. Cavaliers have to develop, reestablish that.
Joe Johnson, wide open look at three. And we hit the 3-minute mark on this Cavalier trip to the offensive end, and still knows Zydrunas Ilgauskas. Boozer went to the fadeaway. He got pushed before he got that jumper started by Amari Stoudemire. It'll be 3 on Stoudemire. The thing, too, about Sean Marion and Amari Stoudemire, Paul Silas knows that they very infrequently come off the floor.
Right. They
40-minute a night game.
That's right.
And Marion is going to play over 3,000 minutes for the 4th straight year. As LeBron James off the step used the window to knock down the jumper.
LeBron going inside. That's what he has to do.
McDyess just threw it away over the head of Stoudemire. Cavalier basketball. Timeout. Mike D'Antoni and the Phoenix Suns. Late 3rd quarter here at Gund Arena. The Cavaliers looking for that 10-0, 12-0 run that's going to get them back into it. Will it be forthcoming? Come on back and find out. The wine and gold on display here inside Gund Arena, trying to urge the Cavaliers back into this one as we take a look at tonight's Alltel text message question. Comes from the ticket munchkin, who has quite a handle there. Wants to know, assuming the Cavaliers get healthy, who the Cavaliers maybe match up well with in the first round. Got to get there first.
Right. I think the little 7-game streak got people off into a little euphoric feeling, but I think the Cavaliers have come back to earth now. Now they have to regroup, Michael, and get themselves back in a positive feeling.
Just got the word from Bill Evans, Cavaliers PR director. Zydrunas Ilgauskas suffered a nose contusion. He will not return tonight. Carlos Boozer had to readjust as he strolled to the rim. Boozer has 8, and LeBron James has 16 of the last Cavaliers' 26 points. The other field goal from Tony Battie.
Cavaliers trying to play the zone now to see if they can force this team to shoot over the top and see if they can stay warm.
Joe Johnson didn't get the roll. Phoenix tried to keep it alive. Maciek Lampe battling on the glass, and Lampe, who picked up 3 quick fouls. Cavaliers there again. Phoenix shooting 58%. They've been as high as 70% in the first half. Aren't missing many of their shots tonight, and when they do, they can afford to let Phoenix get another possession. That jumper from Lampe won't fall. LeBron James with the lively legs. Inside 2 minutes left in quarter number 3.
Cavaliers trying to get something started here, but the offense is still not hitting on all cylinders.
LeBron James will duck baseline and fade away. A stick back from McGinnis and Battie. Tony Battie got it with the left hand.
Jeff hurt that shoulder. McGinnis hurt his shoulder trying to follow that ball up. He's holding it.
Well, Jeff McGinnis in more pain. Stoudemire over Battie. No. Tony Battie to rake it down. And Jeff McGinnis in obvious pain as he takes the Cavaliers to the front court. Boozer against Stoudemire. Gave it up to McGinnis. Ira Newble. No. Boozer on the glass. Carlos will fade. No. Into the hands of Sean Marion. He could have cut it down to 11. Joe Johnson's going to raise up. What else? Joe Johnson has got it again. That could be huge. Mark that down. Instead of going to 11, it went back to 15.
You're right. Huge transition that time. Cavaliers have to continue. You know, it's funny. When you're trying to climb that mountain, Michael, everything has to go forward for you, but you still have to
play
have
almost perfect.
You got to play almost perfect when you're trying to come back from where they're coming from.
Ira Newble inside, got the finger roll as Boozer found him on the baseline.
Good pass by Boozer inside. Ira Newble laying the ball in. Cavaliers have definitely picked up their pace.
And again, the Cavaliers are going to have to do this without Zydrunas Ilgauskas, nose contusion for the second time in a couple of days. Barbosa threw it away. Turnover Phoenix. LeBron James got held in the backcourt with 26 seconds left in this third quarter. And LeBron James with a clock stop to pull the Cavaliers back within 11.
Michael, isn't it amazing what a little defense will do for you? You see Jeff holding that shoulder a little bit, but if you play a little defense, not only does it get you going on the defensive end, but it has a tendency to get your offensive flow going a little better. And the Cavaliers have to get into the open floor. They are a super open floor team. They got to get into the open floor.
LeBron James struggled in the fourth quarter shooting free throws the other night when he went to the line 4 separate times and split 4 different pairs of free throws in the fourth quarter against Utah. James will split the pair here. LeBron James with 12 here in the third quarter. He's got 18 tonight.
Cavaliers need a stop here.
13-point game.
Cavaliers have gone to the zone, forcing Phoenix to change up their thing. Good defensive strategy. Forced them to do a few different things.
Barbosa, wide open three. Didn't go down for it.
Got a turn.
Tony Batti's going to get whistled for swinging the elbow. Referee Nolan Fine will hit Batti on the foul and give the basketball back to Phoenix.
Shot off the glass. Batti going after the ball. Oh, boy, that was inadvertent. There was not any intent there to foul Stoudemire by Batti. That was very unintentional.
So Ghana Jop's going to have to check in. Tony Batti got whistled for his 4th personal foul. And without Zydrunas Ilgauskas tonight. Barbosa to lift it. Didn't go down. Boozer to snap it off. And the Cavaliers finished the third quarter on an 11-2 run. And this large crowd at Gund Arena letting the officiating trio hear their displeasure. All right, it's manageable.
Yes.
The lead is 12 when we get back. Cavaliers outscore the Phoenix Suns by 7, so they take 7 points off the lead, which is now at 12. As we said, it's manageable, but it will have to be done, Austin Carr, without Zydrunas Ilgauskas. He picked up a nose contusion on Friday night and whack from Amare Stoudemire there. And he cleared off, and Z will not return with more problems in the nose area after he took his second hit in the last 3 games. And we see Mark Iavaroni. Mark Iavaroni, now Phoenix assistant. He was with the Cavaliers on Mike Fratello's staff and did a tremendous job in working with young Zydrunas when he was coming into this league.
Yes, he did. He helped Z quite a bit understand his footwork and what he needed to do as far as the center in his lead to get it done.
Jeff McGinnis will trigger. Sagana Jop's got an offensive board. Jeff McGinnis trying to gut it out tonight. 0 for 5 from the floor. Cavaliers down 12, and they need to continue this spurt. James up top. Found Jop. Boozer to raise up. No. Ira Newble on the glass, but Sean Marion took it away.
Cavaliers trying to attack the basket, trying to do things around the paint area. Going back to man-to-man. Great
Joe Johnson split the seam. He made that look easy as he floated home the jumper.
See, that's the problem tonight. The Cavaliers individually are beginning, they break them down too easy individually, so it opens up a problem for everybody else. Good move inside by Boozer.
It went and one for Carlos Boozer as LeBron James found him. Slip screen from James and Boozer, the 2 pieces of the Cavalier foundation.
Good pass inside by LeBron and good finish by Boozer inside with the left hand.
Boozer with 14 tonight. Carlos with 7 boards, looking for his 4th straight double-double. Look at his last 3. Boozer been shooting 70% from the floor in his last 3. Not quite there tonight. Got off to a tough start. Picked it up now. Boozer 7 of 17. The lead back to 11. This is Sean Marion. Marion got his own, and in one motion on the putback, Cavaliers just cannot have that trying to come back from a double-digit deficit.
Well, one thing you can't do when you're this far behind in the fourth quarter is give up second chance opportunities.
LeBron James will spin to the hoop. Wouldn't go down. James got it back. Put it down in one coming. LeBron James was straight around the hoop with the foul from Magic Lampe.
Michael, this is the type of effort that they've been needing all ball game. A second and third opportunity. LeBron going after the ball, hangs in there strong enough. The young fella finishes strong. He goes to the line for his free throw.
Well, LeBron James now with 20 on the night. And he's trying to get the Cavaliers back to within 10. LeBron with 19 and now 20 of the Cavaliers' last 37 points here in this one. And let's see, Carlos Boozer has 11 more of those 37. The defense stand up with this big crowd of the guy. The youngster, Magic Lampe, drafted by the New York Knicks. Now looking to set that pick for Joe Johnson. Cavaliers get it out of Johnson's hands. Shot clock at 4. Lampe from deep. Came up flat. Boozer came from top to bottom to snap it off.
Cavaliers are starting to pick up their pace. Their spirit is there.
Boozer to the hole. That's shut off. LeBron James to triple. Boozer in the offensive glass and got fouled.
Cavaliers all over the place now. They're starting to pick their spirit up, Michael. They're getting into the ball game emotionally.
Well, Austin, you and that Cavalier group from 75-76 season, you had to fight back, I remember, in a miracle year from many double-digit deficits. Takes a lot out of you, but you got to find the will, don't you?
You have to find the will and the way to do it, and a lot of times the bench has to step up. Whoa, good fella.
LeBron James, how pretty is that? He crossed over and went straight to the hole.
Now you're starting to see what happens when you play with spirit and emotion. Good things start to happen for you.
Lampe came up short. Boozer's got another board. James will push it. Cavaliers down only 8. LeBron James' pass went right by Carlos Boozer out of bounds, and Paul Silas just slapped the table right here in front of us.
That was the time to get the crowd involved, but the Cavaliers have definitely picked up their act here in the fourth quarter.
Without Zydrunas Ilgauskas, who got off to the big 14-point start but had to leave with the shot in the nose that gave him that contusion. Cavaliers down by 8. All right, let's take a look at our Lexus game summary. The Cavaliers, without Zydrunas Ilgauskas, have outscored Phoenix by 10 at 33-23. Cavaliers have never led, though. They've been trailed by as many as 21. Z will not return tonight. Joe Johnson's been just brilliant for the Phoenix Suns, and LeBron James and Carlos Boozer have spurred this Cavalier spurt in the second half.
Well, Michael, with the personnel that the Suns have put back on the floor, the Cavs should go back to the zone, because as a man-to-man, all these guys have been breaking the Cavaliers down individually too easy. Cavaliers defense will definitely be tested in this next 2 or 3 minute period.
Now Mike D'Antoni bought some time. Stoudemire lost it. McGinnis will push it. Jeff McGinnis gave it up to Newble, and Ira's going to get to the free throw line on that Phoenix foul. Amari Stoudemire, Sean Marion. As we said, they don't sit out much to get blows. Mike D'Antoni just gave him about a 2-minute rest, and the Cavaliers went on the run. He brought him back.
Right, and you know, because he knows what time it is, he knows the Cavs had the momentum. McGinnis waiting for somebody to come open. Ira Newble running the floor well, gets to the line.
Ira Newble, 79% on the year, and a stripe for the Cavaliers. Now we'll have to look to split the pair. Cavaliers have cut from 21 down and looking to cut it down to 7 if Newble can connect here. Ira Newble with 1 of 2 for the free throw line. This is just a 7-point game with still 9 minutes left. Hang on.
Cavaliers have fought their way back by Howard. Getting down in the trenches and playing tough defense. Challenging passes, challenging the lane. Look at Newble. Now they're up on guys, making them have to play the game. LeBron up on the guy, forcing them to have to do something with the ball. But Joe Johnson, the killer all night,
he's special.
Into the basket.
That's all I'm going to tell you. He's special. That's a special move.
Yes.
You don't make that that he just made unless you have extraordinary gifts. Boozer from deep readjusted it and shouldn't have. Carlos says his fault, and it was. Got to take that jumper.
Yeah, he was there, and that's why he went up that consistently with the shot, because that was what he wanted to do in his mind. He changed it in the midair.
Now Marion off the curl against Ira Newber. Marion baseline, readjusted the jumper that goes. 4-0 Phoenix run, and the lead's up to 11 again.
Cavaliers, again, I still believe, Michael, it's the zone they have to play against this team, because individually they break them down too easy.
LeBron James, Carlos Boozer from the baseline. That's too strong. Paul Silas yelling out the defensive assignment against his ball club. Cavaliers really need to stop here. If they don't, it's going to go right back to 13 again.
Right, and it won't be enough time to get back in the ball game. We've got to stop him, slow him down.
Casey Jacobson will bury a 3. I said 13 and make it 14. 7-0 Phoenix run after the Cavaliers cut it to 7. And you can almost feel a lot of air being deflated out of Gund Arena. 7-0 run in a minute and 10. 14-point Phoenix lead when we come back. Cavaliers basketball on Fox Sports Net tonight being brought to you by your local Ford store. If you haven't looked at Ford lately, look again. Also by Jack Daniel's Tennessee Whiskey. Nobody makes whiskey like Jack Daniel's. By Hyundai. When your car comes with America's best warranty, you win. Cavaliers had to cut down to 7, and now it's back to 14 again. 7-0 Phoenix run. It happened in a minute and 10 seconds.
Oh, how quickly things can change in this league.
Tony Battie back for the Cavaliers. Battie.
The weak side is wide open.
And Carlos Boozer got reached in on by Antonio McDyess. McDyess on the foul. All right, let's take a look at our Geico Direct moment. And this is what Lindsey Hunter said after the Detroit Pistons took apart the Cavaliers on Sunday. You go in as a road club and do not let a home team feel good about themselves.
You're right, Michael. And that's the defensive mentality that a championship team brings to the floor every night. And that is what we've been talking about time and time again with this Cavalier team. You have to come with that attitude, both at home and on the road. You're not going to let a team feel good about themselves.
Carlos Boozer with 2 free throw makes. Boozer has, in this second half, 13 of his 17 points. He has his 4th straight double-double and his 34th double-double of the season. Cavaliers have switched LeBron James off Joe Johnson and put him on Casey Jacobson now. Stoudemire got rejected by Boozer and Battie. James open floor. LeBron looking for power.
Somebody help him.
Can't find it underneath. Jeff McGinnis on the floater. The stick back wouldn't go from Newber. And it'll be Cavalier basketball as the Cavaliers will keep it. Now Mike D'Antoni displeased on the Phoenix bench.
Key possession here. The Cavaliers must score here, Michael, to take it to 10.
Well, Jeff McGinnis 0 for 6 tonight, and those are shots around the hoop. Penetration that McGinnis would normally have go down for him.
Well, most of his shots, because of penetration, he can't raise that arm up high enough to make the shot, but it's a valiant effort by the young man.
Gutted it out tonight. Tony Battie way up top to McGinnis. Plenty of time in the shot clock. McGinnis again will turn the corner. That runner never got to the hoop, but he's going to get to the free throw line. But Jeff got decked and gets up gingerly. Oh, look at Jeff McGinnis going 35 minutes tonight. 6 of 6 from the line.
Let me tell you, folks, this fall right here, when your shoulder's hurting, it hurts bad. And I'm going to tell you, he reminds me of the old days. I mean, this is a guy that's taking one for the team. Because, believe me, that shoulder hurts him badly, and he cannot raise that hand up, that arm up. But believe me, this young man knows the importance he is to this team, and he's giving it all. You can see him wincing there. He's hurting people, but this young man is giving it his all.
Jeff McGinnis has had to sit and watch the last couple. The Cavaliers respond after Phoenix went 7-0. The Cavaliers, Kevin Ollie knows that it's time to continue on this run. 10-point game, still plenty of time, 6:20 left. This is Sean Marion against Ira Newber. Stoudemire over the tee, and he got it.
Boy. See, Michael, that's what I'm confused with. To have a guy just take 2 steps into the middle of your defense and get a wide open shot, somebody's not paying attention to what's going on out there.
Cavaliers do have Phoenix in the bonus. McGinnis from deep. He came up short. Jeff 0 for 8 from the floor tonight.
Well, I think people realize that shooting was not going to be his forte tonight, but his leadership and ball handling is what the Cavaliers needed.
This is Antonio McDyess and that spinning jumper that barely got to the rim. 5.5 minutes left, 12-point Phoenix lead.
And now's the time to go. They've just traded baskets from the beginning of the quarter.
Carlos Boozer went to the rack, and Kenny Mauer called an offensive foul on Boozer.
Pass down on the pick and roll. Boozer going inside. Stoudemire got outside of the circle. That's why he got the call. Even though he was moving a little bit, he got outside the circle. The referee just made a blind call.
Stoudemire has taken his second charge tonight. Now the clock continues to wind down. Joe Johnson again got in the paint. Joe Johnson has been an absolute menace, a terror on the Cavaliers. 28 points on 13 of 22 from the floor. LeBron James bounces his way to the rim, and he'll get to the free throw line. On the Phoenix foul, Casey Jacobson. Joe Johnson, Sean Marion and Amari Stoudemire have done their normal with 18 and 19 points respectively, but Joe Johnson's 13 of 22 with 28 points, 5 boards, 6 assists, and 40 minutes of work.
Well, the young man has become a player in this league. He had a few setbacks early in his career, but now he feels he belongs, and he's showing it on a nightly basis. Cavaliers now have to get a couple of stops, get some baskets, and then go to the zone. They got to force the zone because individually they are not having any success stopping Phoenix.
LeBron James trying to connect on both throws. He'll do that. LeBron with 25 tonight. Just joined us. The Cavaliers fell behind by 10 points in the first quarter. Phoenix stretched it as many as 19 and then 21 and settled at 19 at halftime. Cavaliers had it cut to 7, but Phoenix answered with a 7-0 run. Shot clock at 4. Stoudemire will fade away, and he got it. Phoenix just will not let the Cavaliers make that push that will allow them to really make a serious run here in this.
And then look how they are forcing the Cavaliers to take shots. I mean, the Cavaliers are being forced to take shots. They're getting knocked down. They're getting bumped. Everything's happening to them. But on the other end, though, Phoenix is getting the shots they want, and they get to the basket without being touched at all. No knockdowns, no anything.
Sean Marion's jumper came up very short. 4 minutes left, 14-point lead. James off the wraparound, had it rejected. Boozer had one putback that wouldn't go down. Lit on the hoop now for the Cavaliers. Run out for McDyess, and he got fouled by Tony Petit. And this Phoenix Ball Club looks like they're coming into Gund Arena and going to get just their 9th road win of the year against 26 losses away from their home in America West Arena. Pained expression on the face of Paul Silas. Cavaliers in danger of falling for the 39th time and their 3rd in a row. Cavaliers had this crowd of 19,024 rocking when they cut the Phoenix lead to 7, but the Suns immediately responded with a 7-0 run. And it has stayed right at and around 14, where it sits right at the moment. Coming up at Cavaliers in the Post. Austin and I will be a part of it along with Andy Baskin and break down this one tonight. And it's sure looking like the Cavaliers are going to lose for the 3rd straight time here at home. Fall to 31 and 39 on the year and lead Boston by just 1/2 game when the night is done in the NBA's Eastern Conference playoff race for the 8th and final spot.
Well, Michael, this is no time to feel sorry for yourself. One thing for sure, the Cavaliers still have an opportunity to control their own destiny. Now, we can't continue to say that game in and game out. They got to stop this and start controlling their destiny. Right now, they are letting it slip right out of their fingers, after they've worked so hard to get here.
You're right. The point you made there at the end, if a losing streak mounts, then destiny won't be controlled any longer.
Right.
And you'll not only need to win, meaning them being the Cavaliers,
you need somebody else to
but then have other people help you.
Right. And
that situation, you know, you've been there. You don't want to be in.
No, you don't want to be in that, Michael. The year before the miracle year, that happened to us, and it really was a sad feeling, not making.
Trying to win yourself, and you're looking at the scoreboard all the time, hoping some other team helps you.
Right.
How about Joe Johnson tonight? Best player on the floor, bar none, without question. He has done anything he's wanted tonight on his way to a 30-point performance on 14 of 23 from the floor.
Well, it comes down to somebody out there defensively did not accept the challenge.
LeBron James will misfire on that jumper, and Phoenix is going to walk in here. And on the strength of that tremendous first half, and then they withstood the Cavalier run in the third quarter. Sedona Diop took it away from Amari Stoudemire. Boozer will push it, give it up to Ali, who found Boozer. He's pumped it with the left hand.
Well, Michael, when you look at what's going on, the Cavaliers now are going to have the reputation of being back on the bottom feeder again, and it's going to be tough when they go into these arenas. Teams think that they can beat the Cavaliers as opposed to 2 weeks ago when they were all fearing the Cavaliers.
Well, you and I talked about it on Sunday afternoon, and because life is so tenuous on the road in this league.
Right.
Again, it may sound harsh, but if you're in the position the Cavaliers are, you cannot afford to lose home games this late in the season and then go think you're going to make it up on the road in places like San Antonio, Dallas, and Memphis, and Miami, and Milwaukee, which are the road games still facing the Cavaliers.
You're right. It won't happen. It will not happen at this time of year because all those teams are fighting for playoff position, Michael, and they're not going to come lackadaisical like the Cavaliers came this evening at the first, especially that first half.
The lead is 16 as we approach the 2-minute mark. Eric Williams, Kevin Ollie back on the floor. Carlos Boozer now will fade away in the fourth quarter. And it will be Cavalier basketball.
When you look at it, you wonder, do the Cavaliers understand what position they're in, Michael? I mean, did they use all the energy to get back in the race, and now they have relaxed, now that they think they're here, thinking that they're going to win games? It doesn't happen that way, Michael. You cannot start throwing the ball away, not rebounding, not blocking out, not making shots, and expect to be a playoff team in this league. This is professional basketball, Michael. It doesn't happen, especially this time of year.
The whole crux of this one was early on. The Cavaliers basically allowed Phoenix to do whatever they wanted and get any kind of look they wanted on their offensive end.
That's why that statement by Lindsey Hunter was so important. You do not let teams feel good about themselves. You go and take them out of their offense. The first premise, Michael, is understanding the game plan. Understanding where you don't want guys to take shots from, what certain guys, what their strengths, what their weaknesses are. That's what you have to know right off the bat, and you form your game plan to that particular situation. You just don't go out there and play against a guy who's a professional and just let him run wild and free. You have to find ways to slow these guys down by using your noggin. You got to think.
Cavaliers have a lot of soul searching to do in the next 48 hours because any cushion they had in the Eastern Conference playoff race,
no, it's gone.
They were sitting number 6 here just 4 nights ago, and now find themselves trying to hang on at number 8, having lost 3 in a row at home to 2 Western Division teams and the Detroit Pistons. Now Detroit, okay, understandable.
Right.
But the losses to Utah and Phoenix this time of the year at home, not acceptable.
Not acceptable. You're right, Michael.
Cavalier basketball with 1:04 left, so now attention will have to turn to back-to-backs with Philadelphia and New Jersey Friday and Saturday.
And those are going to be tough games because Philly is much better without Iverson playing. They're going to be ready to play. And New Jersey definitely, they know what time it is because they have something to play for. And with Kidd being out, they picked up their intensity. They are playing tough basketball even without Jason Kidd.
Amari Stoudemire got whistled on that personal foul, and Eric Williams, LeBron James, and the rest of the Cavaliers. You know, again, as we said, offense comes and goes. The Cavaliers are only shooting 32% tonight, so it's going to be tough to win when you only shoot 32%, but it's doable if you play much more spirited and with much more defensive aggression than the Cavaliers showed tonight.
Well, Michael, just think about what you just said. You're shooting 32% against the Phoenix Suns. I mean, what's going to happen when they play against Philadelphia, who challenges you just like the Pistons do? Are we going to fall apart, or are they going to answer the challenge?
And once again, after 3 straight sellouts, not quite a sellout tonight, but 19,000 here at Gund Arena tonight.
And they
trying
were
to
waiting
spur the Cavaliers on, and Cavaliers gave them absolutely no reason to feel good about themselves in the first half.
And now the Suns are just having fun. Now they're laughing and joking, and oh, I used to hate that feeling when I first came to Cleveland. Teams would come into your building and start laughing and joking. I hated that.
Got a job on that jumper off the Eric Williams miss, and that's going to do it. Cavaliers have lost 3 in a row, all of them at home. They've gone from the 6th spot in the East down to just trying to hang on in the 8th spot, and this Gund Arena crowd certainly unhappy, and rightfully so. 103-86, Cavaliers get belted by Joe Johnson's career-high 31 points. Cavaliers didn't have an answer all night for Joe Johnson. Phoenix